Next one here. This is what we need to look at here. The structure showing different structures. I'll try also to draw that structure here so that you must be able to be encouraged that you need to draw. Don't rely on the question paper that have been drawn. You must also practice how to draw. Now this is a structure here. This is a fallopian tube where different processes will occur. This is the ovary, where this ovary here will release, the egg will be released in this process here. And then the egg here is process A. The egg is released in process A. And here we find that the egg here is being fertilized, is process B. Now the fertilized egg here will now undergo the process whereby the eggs, this particular fertilized egg will multiply until it form a ball of cells. Now this ball of cells will now be having, this is the endometrium that you learners have asked me about. And here, this is the part where you need to know that this is when implantation takes place. And here we've got an embryo inside here. So this is what you need to know. I'm trying here to encourage you learners that you must make sure that you know how to draw these structures. This is what you need to know. And remember, form and functions are interrelated in life science. So this is the embryo being attached to the mother. Now I want us to look at the processes that I have drawn here. The processes that I have drawn here. We know that the structure here is the ovary, where the egg cell is produced. This structure is the oviduct, where the the fertilization takes place. This one is called the endometrium, or you can say the uterus where implantation takes place. Now, these are the main important parts in the female reproductive system here. Now, let us look at this diagram. This diagram is a diagram showing the structure, the female reproductive system at the time of ovulation, which is A, fertilization, which is B, and implantation, which is D. So in other words, the first question will say we must first be able to identify the processes. Process A is ovulation. What is ovulation? It's called the release of the ovum. Here, the second one is called fertilization, which is B, meaning the fusion between the sperm cells and the egg cell. Then C is mitosis. Mitosis meaning multiplication of cells. Multiplication of cells. And then to form an embryo. Then here we've got D, which is the process called implantation. Implantation means the embryo is embedded on the endometrium. It is embedded on the endometrium, or it is attached to the endometrium. So those are the processes that you need to learn here. This is a time when in the female cycle, ovulation takes place, the release of a ripe ovum, then thereafter there comes fertilization. From fertilization, then there comes the process C, which is called fertilization. So this is what you need to understand. Now let us look at this structure here. This structure here. This is a sign. This is the uterus, the pregnant uterus. But if you look at the pregnant uterus, the fetus is attached to this by this part which is called the umbilical cord. The umbilical cord. Now, in here there is also the fluid called the amniotic fluid. the amniotic fluid around the fetus. You need to know the function of the umbilical cord and the function of the amniotic fluid. Now, this umbilical cord, I'll show you another structure where the pregnancy is fully fleshed. The structure like this. You'll bear with me that we are going to make sure that you have an interest in drawing diagrams. We've got the structure here, which have some villi. This structure here, which have some villi. This is the structure. Now this structure here, this is the umbilical cord, which is attached to that structure. And that structure is called the placenta. The placenta. And this is called the umbilical cord. Now the umbilical cord is attached to the fetus here. You find here, this is a fetus here, attached here. And this is the head of the fetus. Some hands of the fetus here, attached here. So this is the umbilical cord. And this fetus is enclosed within the extra-embryonic membrane. This membrane is called the chorion. And inside here, there is amniotic fluid. Now, I want you learners to observe this structure and start now. Here we've got the mucus plug in the cervix where it is going to prevent any breaking of waters there. Now, this is the structure of the pregnant uterus emanating from this one here. This one is still early months, 3 months time, but now is when now the baby is fully developed. Now, this process here, this structure, it shows this period, gestation. Now, I want you to understand this, learners. When the question says, give the correct biological term, the period after fertilization until the baby is born. The period after, this is called a period of pregnancy. It's a period of pregnancy. It's a period after fertilization until childbirth. So you are not going to, if they say give the correct term, they say the period after fertilization until child, then you write pregnancy, it will be wrong. It is gestation. Gestation is called the period of pregnancy. It takes about 280 days. Now let us unpack the structure here. Firstly, let us talk about the placenta. Now the question will say how the placenta is structurally suited for its function. We know that firstly we have to identify the functions of the placenta. Now the functions of the placenta are as follows. 1, it removes waste and carbon dioxide. 2, attachment of fetus to the mother. That is 2. 3, it provides nutrients and oxygen to the fetus. Those are the 3 main functions. Remove waste and carbon dioxide from the fetus to the mother. Attachment of the fetus to the mother. It provides nutrients and oxygen to the fetus. Now, how is this placenta structurally suited for this function here? 1, it has folds of villi. These are the folds of villi. With these folds of villi, they enlarge the surface area for implantation. Then also here, we've got them here, it is richly supplied. It is supplied with blood vessels. It is supplied with blood vessels. Why blood vessels? To remove waste, carbon dioxide, and to transport oxygen and nutrients to the fetus. It removes waste and carbon dioxide from the fetus. It transports carbon dioxide and oxygen. That is what we have. It also have blood sinuses. Now these blood sinuses here, They are there to separate the blood of the mother and that of one of the child. The function thereof is the blood synthesis is to separate the blood of the mother and for close contact, so that there must be a close contact in here. And also, it is semi-permeable. It has a semi-permeable membrane. Why a semi-permeable membrane? The placenta promotes diffusion. Diffusion of what? Of waste and carbon dioxide from the fetus from the fetus to the mother, and diffusion of oxygen and nutrients from the mother to the fetus. So these are ways. If the question say explain, it means you must provide. Let me show you here. You must provide the statement and the reason. The statement and a reason. 1 mark for the statement, 1 mark for the reason. 1 mark for the statement, 1 mark for the reason. Statement and the reason, statement and the reason. So that is how the placenta is structurally suited for its function. So this is what I want. We're still waiting for questions to come. I will proceed to the chorion and the chorion and other parts. Still waiting for questions in this 3 minutes or 2 minutes. Questions before I proceed with this structure. A question from this structure or this one, the one shown here on the screen. I'm still waiting for those questions. 3 minutes only. Then I will proceed with our discussion. I'm sure, learners, you are able to synthesize something. You are able to get something from our discussion here. Otherwise, we need to be clear on this issue. I'm still waiting for questions. I'm still waiting for questions for 3 minutes here. Then, in an absence of question, let us proceed. In an absence of question, let us proceed. Now, where are we going to proceed now? We are going to proceed here. We talked about the placenta. We talked about that. Now, the blood synthesis, we say the blood synthesis here, they bring blood of mother in close contact with that of the fetus. In other words, the blood system of the mother. If this is the mother blood system here, like this, these are the fetal villi in that. So they are not in close direct physical contact. This is the mother blood, and this one here goes to the fetus blood. That is what we need to understand. Now back to our discussion also here. Let us look at the umbilical cord. Now the umbilical cord, the function is to attach the fetus to the placenta. Let us look at these two differences. I said the placenta attaches the fetus to the mother or to the uterus. It attaches the fetus to the uterus. But the umbilical cord attaches the fetus to the placenta. Now this umbilical cord has the following. It has umbilical vein and umbilical arteries. The umbilical veins, they are the one that transport oxygen, nutrients, antibodies from mother to fetus. Arteries, they transport waste, carbon dioxide from fetus to the mother. The question may arise saying, part, let me put the label of this part, part E or part E, part 1, or let me say part X, can transport substances to and from the mother